What is up, YouTube? Narcoleptic Swag here. I'm gonna introduce the T13 speed build for the Barbarian. I call it the Boulder build. It is also capable of taking on a greater of 70 in about 5 minutes. First, we're gonna go over the skills for this build. On left click, we have Furious Charge, Merciless Assault. Right click, we have Ancient Spear, Boulder Toss. Then we're gonna have Warcry Impunity, Battle Rage Bloodshed, Berserker Insanity, and Call the Ancients together as one. For passives, we have Animosity, Ruthless, Berserker Rage, and No Escape. As a fifth passive, I'm using Rampage. If you don't have a Hellfire, I would say swap out Ruthless for Rampage. Most of the time the Boulder hits things, it one-shots it, especially on crits. So unless you're doing a greater of 70 and it's taking you 2 or 3 boulders and you're actually engaging enemies that have 30% health or less, then I would say take it out. But a Hellfire is really easy to get now that they made the changes, so no reason not to farm one. You also want to use the Zaystone, the Bane of the Stricken, which you can swap out for Bane of the Powerful if you desire, and Esoteric. As far as the cube, we are using 300 Spear, Ancient Parthian Defenders, and the Royal Ring of Grandeur. As far as the gear goes, any combination of 6-piece Raycore and 4-piece Immortal will work for this build. You do use a Royal Ring of Grandeur, so you really only need the 5-piece and the 3-piece of Raycore and Immortal King. The only caveat to that is you have to use the belt and the weapon of the Immortal King set. On the belt and the weapon, you're going to look for Maximum Fury at the bottom. That's pretty important for this build, since Ancient Spear drops all of your Fury to increase damage. I'm going to use Diamond in the Helm, Diamond in the Chest and Pants. For Hellfire, triple roll would be better. I'd rather have the Strength traded in for Physical, but this is the best I got so far. And the ranged attack reduced damage is pretty nice, so I've kept it. Skular's Salvation with the max 150% increase at the bottom is ideal. Physical and crit chance are probably the second stats priority. For your rings, you're going to use Focus and Restraint. Triple roll would be awesome. Any 3 combination of crit chance, crit hit damage, area damage, and cooldown are what you're looking for. You want about 30% cooldown to be really set and never really have to worry about charging for your Furious Charge. I've got 27% right now, and it seems like it's maybe a tad low, just like a smidge. As far as my crit chance, I want to go over that while I have this menu up. You want as high crit chance as possible because your Boulder Toss is one attack, right? That you want to crit as many times as possible. And so for me, unbuffed I have 53, but when I buff, I end up having 66.3 solo because of the Scoundrel's crit chance bonus. When I'm in a group and I have no follower, it's 64.5%. But this is a really good crit chance. I'm much more worried about that than I will be crit damage. Area damage I have 108. Like I said, it's going to vary based on what your triple rolls are on all your gear. I prefer all resist on all of my items. I'd rather have cooldown on these shoulders, but unfortunately, it seems like every shoulder pair I get rolls with all resist this season. I've got probably 10 ancient shoulders and they all have resist on them, so this is the best I've got. If I put cooldown on that, my rings wouldn't need it. I have 1 ring with it now. Tips for the build. Obviously watch the demo playthroughs I did and I put on after this commentary. You want to bind Force Stand Still to either space or shift or whatever you're comfortable holding down while you charge. It's kind of an old trick I learned from playing Demon Hunters, wherein you would have the Zaystone and you wanted to maximize your distance. So you would basically keep the Rift Guardian right off of your screen, but since you had no enemy to click on, you needed to still attack. and if you hold down for stand still, you can attack without having to click on an enemy. It's in your keybinds, so go ahead and look at that and set it up. It makes a lot of builds much easier to use if you know that you can use that in certain scenarios. For this build, you hold it down while you charge, and you just pick anywhere where your mouse is, and your guy will charge to it without having to charge specifically to an enemy. You can charge all the way through them. You know, this is helpful if like you want to charge through a explosive, you know, molten, or if you want to get out of a molten and there's no enemy to charge, right? Instead of just running, you can charge out of it. It's also helpful on the Rift Guardian, where you can just hold it over yourself in the Rift Guardian and charge in one place like this. Instead of charging, you know, 10 or 15 yards, you're able to make the animation much quicker by just charging the least distance required. Something else that I like to do, and you may like to do too, is look up a video on how to autocast. It involves using numlock, and there's videos out there. And I would put Warcry and Berserker on autocast and just cast your Battle Rage and Ancients manually. You don't have to cast your Ancients but once unless you die, and then your Battle Rage will, you know, last 120 seconds. You have to just make sure it never runs out. I think that's it, guys. So enjoy the build. It's really fun to play, and it's every barb I play with is like, what are you running? Because it's so fast, and even in a group of 4 people on T13, sometimes it can one-shot if there's enough mobs around the elites. It can one-shot still elites, and there's nothing better than doing that in front of your friends. Like, you jump ahead a little bit, and all of a sudden you engage and you killed, and they're like, whoa, that was quick. So enjoy it. It is a little squishy on certain Rift Guardians for Greater Rift 70. I think I may die on the video I'm going to put up once on him. I think it was the Butcher maybe. But enjoy the build, guys, and if you like the video or you like Barb videos, then follow me on Diablo Fans and YouTube. Alright guys, cheers, have fun, good luck.